and welcome to episode number 89 of the Solo Gamer Podcast. We're getting so close to that 100 mark. I'm going to be saying that for the next 10 weeks as we inch closer episode by episode, though it might be a few more weeks than that if we do an experience point between then and now, which I'm sure we will.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome in, everybody. It's a happy Wednesday here for us. I don't know how happy it really is, but it is a happy Friday for all those listening. So I hope you're having a great Friday. We're happy to be here with you guys to celebrate the weekend starting. Hopefully you don't have to work. I don't have to work this weekend, thankfully. I am, of course, joined by our two co-hosts, Kyle, the birthday boy today with birthday
boy.
Hub. What is going on, man? Welcome in. Happy birthday, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Not much, man. It's one of those things where the older you get, the bigger of a deal it is. You know, my mind was just like, I'm just trying to get through work and figure it out from there. But no, it's been a pretty good day. Kind of relaxed at work and looking forward to talking to you guys, hanging out. Been playing a lot more games, so that's been good. But
nice.
No, it's been pretty good overall. Oh, I got another poster teaser. I know I sent you guys a text message about it.
Yeah, dude, look at that.
Oh, there we go. That's dope, dude. I love that.
Is that also a screenshot?
Most likely.
I mean, that's just one of those games where if you get the right filters
Any
on
screenshot,
it, you won't even know.
Well, dude, it's like there's a few times today I had it sitting on my couch and I'm just sitting here working and I look over at it. I'm like, man, if you didn't know any better, that just looks like a picture of a city. It doesn't even look animated.
Mm-mm.
Because it's not really well lit except for obviously the buildings.
Yeah, you just have the high contrast between the bright neon lights and just dark streets. So there's not a lot of detail being exposed where you can see the textures aren't quite 100% real. Yeah, that's a great photo.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But it looks like it's just cropped out of somebody playing the game, and they did all the work for me, so I'll pay them for it.
Just photo mode. You know, I'm like a weird photo mode person. I didn't think that would be a thing, but I really enjoy trying to take not over the top amount, but take a decent amount of pictures through a game's life cycle that I'm playing. And then it saves it into a folder, and I can go back and just kind of look at them. It's like, this is my first time playing through this game. And just anything that caught my eye, I'd take a picture of it. I've really gotten into photo mode over the years, which is kind of weird, but you guys use photo mode?
A little bit. I actually did experiment with it on Cyberpunk, actually, speaking of the game. There's a couple times I did, especially the I don't want to spoil anything, but with the expansion, there is a moment of time when you're able to you spend some time at a club, and there is an event going on at the club. And it's a really, really cool experience. Taylor, you haven't played the DLC yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Damn, that's crazy.
Dude, all I'll tell you is that moment is just so cool. It's actually a really cool live concert. And if you just take it in as that, it's a really cool experience. It was like a show that I would pay to go see, and it was experienced in a video game, which is really cool.
That's cool.
It's so funny that you bring that up, Kyle, because I have where is it? I have a picture. I took a screenshot, a photo mode screenshot on an Xbox of my V and Idris Elba at that
event.
At that event, and at some point I will find it so that I can show it to you, because it's just so strange that you brought that up, and God damn it, I really want to find it now for some reason.
That's one of my favorite moments in that game.
Because you're it's so cool. It's you're all dressed up and stuff. It's fucking sick. It's so cool. Yeah, it's weird to think of that game without that DLC. It's kind of like Mass Effect 3 without some of its DLC. That it just feels like it's, how could they have ever taken this out?
Yeah. Well, it's with the DLC for me too. It's kind of one of those things where it's like I'm definitely one of those gamers that like whenever I play through a game and the DLC isn't out yet, it takes me a long time to go back to it.
Yeah.
Now, like Cyberpunk, I would absolutely make an exception for because it's just such a good game. But generally speaking, it's really difficult for me to go back to a game if they put out like a DLC, like a year or even several years later, like I think Phantom Liberty was. So
No, I agree with that completely. I feel the same way for the most part. Um, I think it was perfect for me because that DLC came out kind of alongside the final batch of updates. So
mhm.
we were getting the 2.0, and I had not played through it still because I had kind of quit on it. And so it was like, it was just the perfect moment for me to just be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just going to jump back in now. It's all here.
Same for me. I didn't touch Cyberpunk until the DLC was out, so not intentionally. It just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just kind of worked. Yeah, it's perfect if that happened.
Yeah, sometimes too, if it's like a game that I haven't played through before, like I remember specifically one of the games I like played through all the DLC on because it was like my first time even picking up the game was The Witcher. Like I went through The Witcher and I played through Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, and like it was like a seamless thing because it had already been like several years since the game had been out. Or normally if I go back and replay something, I'll play through the DLC because I'll get like the extended edition or like the deluxe edition or whatever for super cheap that already comes with all of it on there. So
Yeah, it can be the best way to do it. I've definitely become more of a person, a player that's like I've become a lot less worried about playing a new game when it comes out. There will be times for sure,
same.
but it just does not hit me the way it used to when I was in my 20s and we would have some other podcast we were doing where we're like, we've got to be able to talk about it. Like that was sort of the thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you
I
don't.
almost feel like I'm at a point where it's like I almost kind of prefer waiting and letting all the content come out and then just playing that full game, you know?
Yeah,
Unless it's a game where I'm like, "Oh, I got to play this," you know? But
Yeah, there'll be
right.
few exceptions.
Definitely a few
Resident Evil I
exceptions.
couldn't wait on. I
No,
already
and
waited long enough as it was.
that's also a little bit easier because it's not a 50 to 100 hour game.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So you know that you could play that and not forego all the other stuff that you're currently working on at the same time. Man, I'm still like kind of in the background searching for this picture because I love it so much, and I think I remember getting a warning from Xbox saying that like you need to save all your captures because we're like changing things. We're gonna delete a bunch of stuff, and I'm kind of wondering
Uh-oh.
if that happened potentially.
Damn.
I know I shared the picture somewhere. I think so. I'll find it
RIP.
later. But
Maybe you sent it to me already
I think I did like a while back. It would have been a while
a long
ago.
time ago.
It would have been like
Phil Spencer hit the delete button on his way out.
yeah, right, exactly, dude. This was a while. It was a while back when that happened, but I know for a fact that I saved it somewhere, so I'll find it in a little bit. But yeah, it's I'll probably, even though I've talked about wanting to play Cyberpunk again, I think I'm purposely just gonna completely wait until we know more about the sequel.
Yeah.
And like it'll be years. It'll be years since I played it and go back and just do it again. I think that'll be a really cool way to do it. It almost feel like a new game at that point, you know?
Yeah.
So what gosh, there's this should be a fun episode. I have so much to talk about as far as what we're playing. And it looks like you guys have quite a bit too. So I definitely want to jump into that. That's like one of my favorite parts of every week.
Yeah.
Kyle, man. Well, yeah, I think you may have found it. I was about to go look at my downloads.
It's downloading. Hang on a second.
Oh no, that's funny. You've got it though.
Pull that bitch up.
I remember sending it out because it was like I just loved my V so much, and the character creator is so good in that game that your character
So
looks like everybody else, like as far as they fit in. And it's one of the best pictures I've ever taken in a photo mode. I think I've got it
in conversation. Here we go.
It's funny. I'm glad you found it. I'll have to
There it goes.
see if it's saved or something in here. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
Nice.
you can put her in a position where she's holding like a cigarette.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for finding that, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd look through the photos in our chat. I had to go back quite a ways. And
Yeah.
it's actually, it's funny. It's hilarious looking at just photos in the chat because there's some funny things without context. Like, what was going on here?
Like, what were we talking about? Or what were we referencing here? That's great. No, there's so much in that game to take pictures of. I'm bummed that I lost them. I guess I'll have to just do it again when I play Cyberpunk.
Right.
Make sure I
Right.
take my pictures. Kyle, man, you know, there was a little while there where things were crazy. You were traveling, you were busy, couldn't get a lot of gaming in. That looks like it's starting to change. Tell us about what you've been playing, what you've been getting up to.
Yeah, man. Quite a bit actually. I know it's been kind of like, I've just been playing Divinity Original Sin 2 quite a bit. I know we played Helldivers yesterday. That was a quick little thing, but it's always fun to get back into it.
It was a blast. I got an achievement yesterday in Helldivers that
Ooh, what'd you get?
It was that one. It was at the very end when you and I basically sacrificed our ability to get out because you went back to get samples at the end.
Yeah.
You died. I went back to go get your samples and died, and all of us died. But after we completed the objective, so all the objectives were done. All we had to do was extract, and we ran out of reinforcements, and we died at the very end.
Oh no!
And I got an achievement. I can't remember what it was, what the title. I'm on my Xbox app. I can actually.
Yeah, we had enemies coming, and I was looking at the map, and we were headed that direction. It was all my fault, but I was like,
well,
I see the emblem or the symbol for some samples out there. I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. It turned out to be a common sample, which is just not worth it. And I'm like grabbing this common sample, and I'm just surrounded by enemies. I'm like, I don't know if I'm coming back, boys.
And then, of course, I was like, "Oh, I'll get it for you."
But I dropped a bunch of them, so it wasn't just the common sample at that point.
There was a rare sample and stuff. I mean, yeah, it was worth picking up. I think it's just funny that I didn't really. It's like if you ever play Madden, and you're like kind of just half-heartedly playing it, and then you realize that you just let the half run out and you could have kicked a field goal or something. Like,
yeah.
It was just like one of those moments where we were dying so much that we kind of forgot that we only had
limited time to get out.
We didn't evac, but mission was completed.
The achievement I got was "Job's done!" ! And it said complete a mission but failed to extract.
Oh, there we go.
69% of gamers have unlocked this.
Nice.
Those automatons get insane. And then when we all three died, we only had one. We only had one life left, and I was the one that got put back out there to fight against what looked like hundreds of automatons.
You were like on the top. It was like you looked like one of the Helldivers off of an image they would put for like a DLC or something. You were like on top of this little mountain, just surrounded by enemies. You're like, ah!
You were like Jon Snow against the massive line of.
That's exactly. And
guys.
He's throwing bombs out in every direction and stratagems and blowing everything up, and he's shooting, and then finally he gets killed.
Yeah, well, then the smallest thing killed me. I get down from the hill, walk around the corner, and a flamethrower guy's right in my face. Just burns me alive. I'm like, well, I guess that's how I go.
That was that. It was pretty epic, though. And you know what? The job got done.
It did.
Yes.
An achievement to prove it.
It only cost like 30 Helldivers, so it's fine.
A sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It was worth it, in my opinion.
So that was a lot of fun. We try to do that every Tuesday. It's been pretty fun keeping up with that, even if we can get only just a couple missions. When you have moments like that where it was like it felt pretty special, our last mission, it's like, yeah, well, this is why we do it. Started picking up Starfield.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to hear about this, man, with the new Free Lanes update.
Oh, God, I don't even think I let everybody know that I got this bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, looks so nice.
We talked about it last week, but we hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, man. So got the Xbox Raw Ally. It's been working pretty well. It's actually a little bit more powerful than I did expect. I mean, of course, you got to run most of the mainstream games at like 720, which is not a big deal. Like, it's a smaller screen. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And there's some things that you can do to make it actually start. You can make it to where it's running at a pretty high level with what it's needs to produce. And then you just got to put the graphics at like medium or a little bit lower. Um, and again, like I said, on a small screen, it just really doesn't matter. Um, so I've been able to run Starfield pretty well. I mean, let's be honest, Starfield sometimes is pretty jagged on even the Xbox.
Hmm.
Um, so I kind of expect that to happen. But anyways, so I was kind of going back and forth on if we're gonna do a new run, like with a new character. Then I was thinking, I was like, some of the stuff I want to play, like the content that I want to experience is like the base building and stuff. And like I said before, that is just absolutely painful to level.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not doing that again. So yeah, I decided I'm gonna get my character ready for a new game plus, and which I did, and then April 7th or yesterday, I should say, patch came through and launched it, and been playing it a little bit since. I haven't really touched any of the DLC right now. I'm just kind of get my feet on the ground and like finally get like a good weapon or something so I can start doing all the main stuff. So nothing too far into it yet, but yeah, I've been impressed with the ROG Ally. It's been running Starfield pretty smoothly the entire time. And then I decided, I was like, well, if it could do Starfield, I bet BG3 is not going to be a problem.
Hmm.
So I picked up Baldur's Gate 3, just basically went through character creation and a little bit of the intro. But that's more of like, I think I'm going to play that a lot, especially when I'm flying out to the Philippines. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to get a lot of work done on Baldur's Gate 3 while I'm in the sky. So
Very nice.
yeah. So that was running pretty smoothly, and that didn't surprise me because I was like thinking about, I was like, it's not a lot going on there other than the cutscenes that when they take over. Graphically, not a lot going on there. I feel like with Baldur's Gate 3, especially when you just kind of dumb down the graphics.
What kind of
Um,
character did you make?
this time I decided to just do a warrior because I usually do barbarian every time. I'm just gonna do a traditional sword and shield and be kind of a support tank because I feel like a lot of the characters that you get around you are not really built for that. Maybe
Yeah.
Shadowheart, but not
Lae'zel
really.
too, maybe.
Lae'zel, yeah, because she's definitely more built for like two-handed damage. Like a lot of the characters you get, companions you get along the way, they're either doing damage or they're like full board like spell casters of some kind.
Yeah.
Nobody who's just like a complete meat shield,
That's
Right.
what I try
At
to do
least,
with my paladin. I like created a paladin most recently in Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm planning on like just giving him like total sword and board,
yeah,
heavy armor.
just absorb shit for everybody.
Right. That is nice. Yeah, it sounds boring, but it's like it helps so much to have that
Yeah,
in a party.
It feels kind of good too when you're surrounded by like four different guys and they're all hitting you and like either missing or doing like minimal damage too.
yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of nice.
absolutely. And then I actually, I've been talking about doing the 2D scrollers and picked up Dead Cells. I know that's huge, popular game. I haven't really messed
Roguelike.
with. Yeah,
Yeah,
have,
I've tried that one before. It's
yeah,
good.
it is good. The roguelike always, like I said, that just irritates me.
That was my problem.
But Dead Cells is pretty good about it. Like I'm definitely noticing that I'm making progress, even though things are resetting when I die. Like I'm definitely making progress. I'm getting better about it. My character is getting slightly stronger because there are some permanent buffs that happen if you get far enough.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not, and, I'm not noticing. It's not too hard of a roguelike. Like it's definitely, I'm progressing pretty relatively easily. So
Yeah, I feel like a lot of developers have kind of built that into some of the newer roguelikes. Like they've made the progression a lot easier and a lot like kind of streamlined than they used to.
mhm.
That's one thing I noticed playing Hades. I remember like earlier this year I was playing through the first Hades because I wanted to play Hades 2. And that game was pretty difficult, but I felt like their progression mechanics of like keeping some of the weapons that you get or like the permanent buffs that you get actually made the game pretty accessible, I thought. And I think I feel like a lot of developers are kind of taking cues from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, I like the idea of roguelike. It's just that when you play it and you like put in a lot of time and then like find out where you're like resetting back to, it's like I don't want to do that again. Sorry, I'm going to play something else. But Dead Cells doesn't feel like that. I haven't felt like I've taken a huge step backwards. It's just like, okay, reset, let's do it again. Like I know what I need to do now. Or like my character is actually just stronger regardless. So I'm going to kind of cruise through some of these easy guys anyways. So yeah, I've liked it. I don't think there's much of a story, but I think it's just like a lot of fun to play. Um, so I've enjoyed that. And then, um, I do want to hear more about this because I know you guys know a lot more about it, but I did purchase and download Marathon, so I'm excited to start.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't take long. I think I watched I think we were about 5 minutes in and I already knew I was gonna buy it.
The game sells itself, man.
Dude, I do want to say the one, not even a caveat, the one like important detail you should know is like you happened to watch me go where I killed a runner, got my mission completed, got some good shit, and exfiltrated successfully. That's sort of like, it's kind of like when people come to Seattle and it's a beautiful day and it's like, this is the best place in the world. You're like, yes, it is, but it's not always like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I proceeded the next like contract. Like you left that night, I had the next contract come up, and it took me like 8 tries to get that done because I kept getting murdered. We'll go into it more later, but it's brutal sometimes, but it's fucking awesome, and I can't wait for you to play
fun.
it. And I still haven't even played co-op like with a team yet.
I know. I was hoping that yesterday I got invited to a thing kind of last minute, but I was like, damn, bet you I could be playing Marathon with the boys right now. So we got to make it happen very soon.
We do. Maybe some point this weekend or something like.
Yeah, man, because I'm really actually celebrating my birthday this weekend. So
yeah. Oh yeah, Alicia was like, you need to get him. You got to get on him. Say what he wants for his dessert and his dinner that I'm making. I don't know what I'm making for him.
I know.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what he doesn't know. So that I was paid to come after you to murk you about
paid
this.
advertisement. Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm excited for you to play that. I'm glad you picked it up. I hope that it does well and keeps doing well. It seems like maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm having a hard time telling. I hope they stick with it. That's all. But
I bet they have to, at least for a few years, right? They probably have enough money into it to where they have to.
I mean, maybe. I mean, they shut down some of these other games that cost a lot with no fanfare whatsoever and took them off the store and stuff. So
but they completely nearly shut down Destiny at this point, right? So I would imagine that a lot of Destiny players are probably coming over to Marathon.
I don't think they're going to like it very much. I like it depending on the Destiny player. Some of them will like it, some of them won't. I like, it's funny because I feel like even though if you looked at the two, I would think that Destiny was more up my alley because it's a little more PvE focused and kind of has a little more of a story. But I was so like Marathon just grabbed me so much faster, and there's something so special about it. I don't even.
So much easier to get in on the ground floor of Marathon too. You know, like every time I've tried Destiny absolutely seems like it's up my alley, but every time I've played it, man, I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know where to start. Like, their onboarding, I feel like, has never been really good.
No, and the like tutorial mission in Marathon is not good.
No, it's not.
The only reason I feel good about what I'm doing is because I have a lot of different YouTubers that are telling me what to do.
Yeah.
And how to do it. I've been watching the Sacred. Oh, speaking of Sacred.
Yeah.
I've been watching the Sacred streams. They just did a second one, and that was really helpful watching them play it because those guys already have so many hours into that game, and so they're playing it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why they're grabbing this, or that's why they do that, or so it's been fun to watch those guys. It just makes me want to play. So yeah, we'll have to at some point we'll come into this show and be discussing what our shared experience in it.
Yeah,
but Well, that's a hell of a list, Kyle. Like you're really jumping around. All of this, have you played pretty much all of these on the ROG?
Yeah, I've been almost exclusively ROG like all week, so
That's very cool.
Get some use out of it.
except for Helldivers, of course.
Yeah, right. That's on your PC. Yeah, I guess you could play it on there potentially. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think I
know why
would
you'd
want to. Yeah, I mean, because especially when you're playing like with friends and it's like online, you don't want there to be any lag of any kind.
Yeah, and
Marathon?
you want to be able to. Well, that marathon as well,
especially marathon,
but Helldivers as well. Like any multiplayer game, where you also want to be able to see everything really well, and I feel like the small screen kind of limits your perspective, and everything is smaller, and it's just harder to.
I wanted to download it on my Steam Deck, but it's not actually like deck deck ready or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's all apparently because of the anti-cheat. Like, I guess they can't get the anti-cheat working on the Steam Deck, so you're not allowed to play it on there. But I would honestly love to download it on my Steam Deck and like just do solo runs, like I don't know, just 3 or 4 here and there, pop in, pop out kind of thing. Don't really worry, like just playing solo. Don't have to worry about like communicating with a team or anything. Just going in for a quick run. Be awesome.
What are some of your thoughts on Marathon now, Taylor, that you've had another week under your belt with it? Have you gotten a chance to play with other people yet, or have you just been doing solo like me?
I've been doing like majority solo, but I have played squads like a couple times. I'm still loving it, man. I just hit recently I unlocked the one of the final maps or whatever. I think it's Outpost. So it's a different kind of map that's in like an industrial park, and they have this really interesting mechanic in the map where they have like fire storms that happen periodically, where if you get caught out in the open, like it rains fire on you and like does a bunch of damage. So you either have to be like in a building or like undercover in order to not get damaged by it. So it's really really difficult, but it makes for some really interesting firefights because you'll get like dudes caught out in the middle of the storm and you have to kind of prepare for that, or it makes really good cover. So if you need to get away, you can just kind of run across the yard or something really quick to get into another building, and it usually doesn't damage you too badly, but it's like if you're standing out in it for like a longer period of time, it'll damage you quicker. So there's like one quest I have to do on that map where I have to like inject myself with this like poison plant thing to be able to take it back to the sponsor and extract with it. And it just constantly like damages you. Like you're like taking like poison damage basically like the entire match, and it's really really hard. Some of the quests on there are like really difficult.
That's so crazy, man. Anything that says like in a single run, I'm like,
yeah, I know, every time.
I gotta get all this done in one.
I have one more sponsor left to unlock too, so that's like the final like thing, and then I have all of them unlocked. So
I'm not
that's
quite
kind of what
there
I've been
yet.
working on.
I only have a couple unlocked, or I have 3 unlocked, and I'm working on like number 4 and 5 right now. But
yeah,
I just some of the like it's just I get the feeling from this game is like there's different kinds, there's seemingly different genres of cyberpunk, like as far as the classic kind of core cyberpunk, which is Blade Runner and the game Cyberpunk, which are like they're still sort of recognizable to us, even if it is kind of far flung, 100 years in the future, 50 years in the future. Obviously, things are not going well at that point. High poverty rate, all of that stuff. But there's like the cities are still we already have some cyberpunk cities in the world, right? There's some few in China and Taiwan. New York City is kind of like that in a lot of ways at this point. We're getting there. And then there's like there's kind of another genre that it's sort of like, it's definitely cyberpunk thematically as far as individual rights being erased,
dystopia,
right, and megacorps running the whole planet, running the solar system, whatever. But it's further down the track, and things start to get really weird, and that's where Marathon sits for sure. because there's like this one line, because there's this one line from the kind of the main company that you are working with from the beginning, who kind of remind me of like Microsoft
Yeah.
and their Windows. Like everything runs on Cyber Acme and nothing
Yeah.
runs without it, or something like that. And something she's like telling me about getting involved with this other company and how they pay really well, and even though it will mean the loss of your rights, a lot of your remaining rights, like it's totally worth it because they pay handsomely or something like that. You're like, oh
Right,
my
yeah.
god, this game is so fucking dark, and I just love it. I absolutely
So
love
good.
how dark it is. We'll have to figure out when we all play together. We'll have to figure out, what team composition we're gonna run with.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I've
important.
used probably 3 of the shells that are available so far, so I haven't experimented with the other ones all just yet. Like I was trying to do one where I kind of played through each one and did a couple games with them just to see how I would do. I still really love the assassin. I think that's my favorite one so far, but I'm sure there's one that I like just haven't got the hang of yet that I'd really like to play too.
I'd imagine we're going to need a medic of some kind.
Yes, one of
Yeah.
us will have to play as triage for sure. I'm happy to do that, or if either of you like that role, that's fine as well. I haven't played much with him, but I've been watching streams with him, someone playing as him, and it's helpful. Like I already get kind of what I would need to do if I needed to play that role. So that'd be cool. I've messed with recon a little bit. I like being able to
Recon's good too.
tag all of the enemies in an area. I wish they would be able. I wish you could tag. It would tag just real players, because like usually when I drop down the like echolocation thing where it tells me where everyone is, they're just red dots, and it'll get all of the UESC robots, the CPU, and they don't really move from a certain area unless they're chasing you. So it's like, all right, well, there's like 9 dots on my screen, so you kind of have to look at them and like which dots are going like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the dot's going like that, then I know it's a person. But so that could be maybe a little better. But I do like having that. I like the little spider droid thing, even though it's not super effective as far as like damage. It still will end up running toward where an enemy is. So it's kind of about knowing where somebody is. Then they kind of know where you are. So I'm trying to find which one I like best. I haven't gotten to play as all of them yet. Apparently, there's going to be another one coming out soon.
That's
Hell
cool.
Yeah. So it'll be awesome. I'm excited to get to that point of some of these missions you can't even play until you're a certain level, and I'm nowhere close. I only have like 4 or 5 hours in.
Yeah.
At this point.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just focusing at this point on unlocking all of the sponsors and then expanding my vault space, which has been a big because it fills up really fucking fast at one point in time. So
it's already there's already times where it's like you're over space, and that's just because I keep using free kits.
Yeah.
And not risking anything. So I just need to. I've kind of been saving up like the good stuff to run with you guys or like with a team.
Yeah.
Then I'll use some of the guns and understanding that I might lose them, but I got them all and no problem anyways. So
yeah.
I think my favorite thing so far as like the way the rarity works, I think they have kind of solved the RNG loot gun thing, where like I don't know if you guys remember. I was never the biggest Destiny player, but I can remember the whole thing with like the Galahorn and like the legendary weapons in Destiny, and how I remember in the Angry Joe review of the original Destiny, they were playing in PvP or something, or like maybe they were playing a raid or something like that, and like one guy just did terribly. He did nothing but die. He didn't help at all. And at the end, after they won, the guy who was part of the Angry Joe Show team, who got the most kills, like the least deaths, did the most objective work, like everything, the shitty guy unlocked the epic weapon because it was just random.
Right, just a drop.
Just like, right. Oh, if you just play this mission, and he was so upset by that, he's like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, and Marathon, it's like a gun. If you like the way the gun, like a rifle or pistol or shotgun feels, you can turn it from a common into an uncommon into a legendary into an ep or whatever whatever the different color codes are by putting on attachments
Yeah.
to the gun, and then all of a sudden the base stats of the gun go up along with that. So it's kind of cool. So you can it's almost more about picking up people's guns just to rip the attachments off of them
Right.
than it is
Exactly.
and put them on the ones you like. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, it's been great. I can't wait to get back into it. What else are you playing, Taylor?
But yeah, so having a little bit more quiet of a week. I've been playing some marathon here and there, but still working on Pokemon Leaf Green. I kind of gave up my quest for right now to complete the Pokedex because it's just taking a little bit too long. Some of the like encounter rates on the Pokemon are really, really like low. So in order to like catch some of those ones, like I'm having to do it like for like hours on end until I actually get one that I want. So I totally abandoned that, and I've just kind of picked up the story again, or picked back up with going through the campaign. So I'm on like the second to last badge and still have to do the Elite Four. So not a ton to report there yet, but I'm trying to make my way through it. But the end game for these are usually a little bit more difficult. Like the battles get a little bit more difficult, and I kind of got to a point where I've spread myself thin a little bit on my actual team that I have because there's so many of them that I like and want to play with that like instead of leveling up, 4 or 5 of them really heavily, I've been leveling up all 6 of them to like a medium degree. So it's kind of like I'm having to work a lot harder to get through battles and stuff like that. So yeah, just pushing through it, and hopefully I'll finish it soon. So
That'll be insane once you have that complete. I haven't even played it. I bought it and I haven't even touched it.
it's so good. I love it.
Yeah, it's got to be just like pure nostalgia too. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's one of those games that just never gets old to me. Like I could pick that up and play it. I've already played through Fire Red and Leaf Green probably like a handful of times in my life. So it's kind of one of those things where I'll always come back to it and play it. And then if they ever drop Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, it's over. I'll be playing that too. So
we'll never see you again.
probably not. Fingers crossed that they drop it though, man. That would be so cool. I would love to have that on a modern console.
Yeah.
Are you interested in this game that's taking over the world right now, Pokopia?
No, not really. Anna bought it recently. She actually bought a Switch 2 of her own to be able to play it.
Wow.
So she dropped some money to get it, and she's been loving playing it. And I've been kind of watching her play it. I found I'm not an Animal Crossing kind of guy. I bought it Animal Crossing like during the pandemic, like right around when it came out, and I thought it was cute and fun. But I don't know. I need a little bit more meat on the bone to keep me going, a little bit more gameplay. Um, I appreciate a lot of those like really therapeutic kind of like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing kind of stuff. It's just not like what interests me. So I've been loving watching her playing it, and she's been addicted to it. So it's cute because all the Pokemon have their own little voices, and the story is like weirdly kind of like
Dark as fuck.
yeah, it's kind of dark, yeah. And so I've kind of enjoyed like I'm not following the story super closely, but when she gets into a dialogue with a Pokemon I like, I'll read what they're saying, and they have cute little dialogue, so it's fun.
Yeah, what a strange. Like I would have loved to have been there when that got pitched.
Right.
All right, so I got a Pokemon game.
Right. When you think about it too, it's kind of brilliant. I'm like, how did they not think of this sooner? Actually,
Yeah.
it seems like a game that would have come out on like the GameCube and just absolutely like crush.
Yeah, sometimes things just. I feel like maybe they needed to see other examples of the genre work first, and then being able to have just Pokemon in something is going to help it. But it sounds like
Yeah,
it's like a really
naturally.
good version of that style of game.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I think it's right now like it's like one of the highest rated Pokemon games like ever.
Yeah.
People are loving it. And the crazy part is it's like becoming a system seller. Like I know like Anna, like a lot of people who are buying Switch 2s just to be able to play it. So
Yeah, that's what all of these companies were at one point were after. You know,
Yeah,
the killer app to sell your machine. I don't know if
system
Nintendo's
seller.
will be able to sell very many systems. I don't know what the price is going to be. Honestly,
Only going to get more expensive.
Anna probably picked it up at the right time. It's
That's
like
what
you
I.
might as well just buy it right now.
That's what I told her because I was like, hardware is there's never going to be a better time to buy hardware than like right now. Like, get it in while you can before it shoots up another $100. You know,
It
so
will. There's no way that it won't. I mean, the fact that the PS5 Pro is now $900 is
crazy.
I don't even
For
know. I don't
real?
even. Yeah, they had to up all the prices again. It's not Sony's fault. It's just the way of the world right now.
That's crazy.
You know, the cost of components because of the whole AI thing, and the cost of tariffs, which is just here, but they're raising it globally. So it's not just that, right? It's like the cost of shipping stuff everywhere. I mean, diesel fuel is like $8 a gallon or whatever. I mean, it's like, so they gotta like put this. They gotta get these manufactured, and they gotta ship them on boats, and they gotta get them into the U.S. and into Europe and in all that. And it's like by the time it gets here, and they're selling it at $700, they've made no money.
Yeah, untenable situation.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, who knows, like just what's going on with all the AI stuff. Like some of these companies have just purchased. They just kind of like it was like when PS5 first came out, in the middle of COVID, and like all the scalpers had bots set up on the websites, just buy them all, and then they
Yep.
could resell them.
Hmm.
That's kind of like what's going on at a company level with RAM and memory and stuff and GPUs. Like it's just being purchased up by big companies, and they're not even using it. They just want to make sure that no one else can have it so that they
Right.
can bank it for later or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully something will improve at some point, but I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. Just gonna have to see. So yeah,
All
nine
we
hundred
can do.
dollars. Low cost of $900 to get your PS5 Pro. And apparently the PS6 might even still launch next year. It's like, why would you even buy one if that's the case? If they're pushing it back 3 years, then sure, I'd consider finding a used one, maybe
Hmm.
sort of bridge the gap between now and 2029 or whatnot. But if they are going to release it next year, then there's really no point. But what are these new consoles going to cost?
Too
And
much.
why would you have to buy it?
Yeah, no, I don't. I can't imagine anyone outside of the hardest of the hardcore that also have the expendable disposable income. Maybe a couple million people will buy this stuff, the new Xbox and the new PS6 and all that, but it's like the vast majority of people are like, well, I can't pay $1,200 for this, man.
Right. Yeah.
You know, strange times we're living in, guys.
Very strange.
Um, Well, I have a lot that I played, but we've already covered a few of them. We've already covered Marathon and Helldivers. You listed Arcane as well because you've been watching through that. I've also been watching
Nice.
it. Are you into the second season now, Taylor?
No, I'm actually on the finale of season 1, so I'm
Cool.
almost
Yeah.
done.
So you're just barely ahead of me. I think I have
yeah.
like 2 episodes left.
Yep, almost there. It's really really good. I'm excited to see this final episode.
Yeah, I might even try and finish it out tonight after the show, potentially. We'll see. The first season. And then we could start watching it when you come over this weekend, Kyle, the second season.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Perfect.
I'd be down.
Yeah, I'm loving it so far. I can't wait to do our episode about it. I think it'll be really
me
fun.
too.
I should have been like taking notes, but I have a pretty good memory of story and stuff like that. So I'll just make sure I get all the names down so that I don't do that thing where I'm like, oh, the one guy.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do. That's my go-to.
The one guy.
Yeah, because I got you there to know all the names. So
I know. I mean, it's funny. There's sometimes where I know that stuff, and there's other times where I don't. It kind of depends on the thing. But I don't know. I was snapping my fingers when I was pretending to try and think of a name. It reminded it reminded me of my dad. Man, he used to like this man. We would go. This is back in the day when you would go into fast food restaurants and order.
Yeah.
and like we would eat in there, which is such a strange thought. Now I can't remember the last time I was inside of a fast food restaurant and ate in there.
Right.
Back when Pizza Hut had dining room tables.
Pizza Hut had the dining room tables and the buffets, and
Yeah.
there were like families sitting down at the tables of Taco Bell and McDonald's and Wendy's, and like lots of people were in there. It was like that was what you did back then. You ate at the table and talked. It's kind of like a good memory now, but it's I think about doing that now and I'd be like, what the hell? Like,
I think about
get me out of here, man.
What am I, a crack addict? Like,
think about big events at like the Dairy Queen, the East Wenatchee one.
Dude, that was like a high school hangout spot. Yeah, definitely.
I will say I still see quite a bit of that. I feel like there's definitely a lot of like kids hanging out at like the McDonald's or whatever, like in the parking lot or in the actual restaurant, taking up like a bunch of space. So
oh well, good. I'm glad. I mean, a lot of
That's
the
really
times,
good.
a handful of times that I've been in fast food restaurants because of like the drive-through line was way worse, and you can go in and pick it up faster or whatever by going inside. You know, a handful of times, a few times a year, like I've gone in there and it's just a freaking ghost town. Like maybe one person, usually an employee, is sitting down like having their lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
like
they gotta get up to get back to the cash register.
Yeah.
It felt like it was at a point where when we were kids, like if your fast food restaurant didn't have a playground, you were kind of behind, you know?
Yeah. I can't even think of any that have them anymore.
Yeah, they've got rid of them all. Now they're just like empty rooms with like nothing in them but a really tall ceiling
and like a few tables.
Yeah.
They're like all like the weird liminal spaces now.
Dude, no, exactly.
Yeah, or it's like this ghost of a time past. Did you? Okay, I'm sorry. This is like major ADHD. I want to get back to the story I was going to tell about my dad. Did you see they're making a movie about the back rooms?
Yeah.
What?
You know what the back rooms are, Kyle?
I don't think I do.
You probably recognize it. It's kind of what made like liminal pictures famous online. It was like one of the kind of the beginning of like creepypasta. It's like someone uploaded photos taken by an old digital camera in the early 2000s in a furniture store that was closing, and there was just a certain feel and look to the way pictures looked that were captured by early digital cameras, like 03, 04 era.
Yeah.
And this furniture store, one of the things that had all this weird, like kind of yellow green wallpaper. And because it was a furniture store, it had all these fake walls so that they could make multiple bedroom sets or living room sets or whatever on the display.
Yeah.
But it was all empty. And so it was just this really weird image of these multiple empty rooms in this, and it just kind of looked like it just kept going and it just didn't make any sense. And like it just kicked off this whole thing of liminal spaces, of like places that feel kind of familiar but abandoned, empty malls with fluorescent lighting,
water parks and stuff like that.
Water parks, that have nothing
looking
but
at
like
pictures.
A little dirt. Yeah. Are you just looking at like liminal pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and they're almost to the point where they're a little creepy. And that's like what started to happen was like the official one, the yellow, if you see a yellow striped wall, it's like the original photo that started the whole thing. It created this whole sort of online mythology about this endless maze of these fluorescent lit yellow wall, pink carpet place that was like hell. It was like, this is actually hell. You're here by yourself and you're being like hunted by a creature in here. And they're making a fucking movie about the back rooms, and it looks just like, it's clearly, I mean, it's that hallway. It's that famous
the guy, what's that actor's name? The guy that plays in.
Yeah, his last name was like Chikwafor or something like that. Like his first name, he has like
he plays the assassin
Nigerian name, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he plays the assassin in
Serenity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's also in American Gangster. He's like the little brother of Denzel's character in that. He's had a few roles. He's really good. So yeah, random
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Very cool.
Great actor, yeah. So sorry, super random aside there, but yeah. So my dad, he would go up to counters and he couldn't think about what he wanted to order. Like he couldn't summon the title of it. So like he'd go to Wendy's and he'd always order the chili there. He loved the chili at Wendy's, and we'd get our food and he'd get the chili. He's like, oh, he needed hot sauce, and he would go up to the counter. He'd be there and he'd be like, hey, I just got the chili over there, and I just need, that little, and he would like put his fingers together, and somehow every fucking teenage girl in Wendy's, no matter what, he always had this problem. Yeah, gosh, and she'd go, hot sauce? He'd be like, yes!
Dude.
And this would happen like every time, and they always knew what he meant.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God.
I have no idea how, but man, you pinch your index finger and your thumb together fast enough and you just get confused. They're
Right.
like, oh, the hot sauce.
Somebody will know what you're talking about.
Oh,
It's
man.
a universal signal of hot sauce, man.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's such
That's
a classic
hilarious.
memory for me. If you
I
know
can-
my dad, you just know exactly what
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah, yeah.
about. He's got some great moments. Dude, yeah. So I've been playing so many games. I don't know. This is definitely, even though we started late because of my work. This is definitely the slowest time. Couple weeks left before cherries begin to come out of California and we get busy again. But it's so great. It's a great time. I can play all this stuff. So finished Resident Evil 7
Nice.
in the bag. Hopefully starting 8 before next week. Alicia's totally into it, so we're going to be playing that one together. That's kind of our game that we're playing together. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I do wish there was a little. It's just the Resident Evil way, I think. I'd love like a little bit more concrete connections. Like I'm kind of having to just go off of what I know, but I still don't even really know that much because nothing's ever really explained that well in any of the games that I've played. Like just enough to get the gist of like, got it, like Umbrella Corporation. They create these viruses because they're like a bioweapons research company or whatever, and then it gets out and the city gets destroyed, and then now this game takes place in 2017 or whatever, and you learn about the stuff that you learn about what you've encountered in this house and what happens at the end. And it's pretty cool. Good story. But I'm also just like if you didn't call this a Resident Evil and like there wasn't Chris Redfield randomly showing up at the end.
Yeah.
And
an
even
off-model Chris Redfield too. Like they made him look nothing like how he never looks that way ever again either.
Yeah, so I didn't even know. I only know the name because I didn't play 5 or 6 or 1. He's in 1, 5, and 6, right?
Yep. That's
so
right.
I only know who he is through like osmosis of just knowing that he exists in the lore. But he just said his name. And I'm like, oh, that's a guy that is in the games that I haven't played.
Right.
and like that's kind of it. And I don't really understand where it's gonna go from here. So we'll see. I'm very
7
and how it connects to everything is
7 is kind of weird because it was a soft reboot of the series, so it plays a lot like 1, like the first one is laid out, but with like a different kind of story. So 7's kind of caught in this awkward place where I don't think they knew, like they didn't really know what the future was going to look like for Resident Evil for that. So they tried to make kind of like one self-contained story with like a little Easter egg at the end to kind of like give the fans something to chew on. But it doesn't really like, that's the problem with 7 is it doesn't really tie into the narrative as much. I think really the only thing you really learn, unless I'm forgetting something else, is like the only connection is Chris Redfield. And even then, he looks nothing like he ever did in the past before that game, and he doesn't look anything like how he does later on. So
funny. There's some other stuff too, like the fact that the mine where the lab was at the very end was being watched by an Umbrella helicopter that kept buzzing them, and we don't know. I could never figure out who was in charge, like who was ordering. Sorry, I guess I'm spoiling Resident Evil 7 right now. Who was in charge of like ordering Mia and her partner to secretly escort this girl that had this crazy mold infection and superpowers and all this stuff? Like, who was there? But was it like the FBI, or was it Umbrella, or was it like, I don't remember finding out like who they were working for as agents and why they were qualified to look after her. I just
Yeah.
I want to know, because I'm like, this is pretty interesting,
Yeah.
but I also don't understand, like, if she's so dangerous, like, why would you have these two people pretending to be her parents and you're hauling her on a random cargo ship? Like, it just seems. And then if it's a random cargo ship, like, then how did it get to this swamp, and also where a lab was? Like, I just don't understand how these things.
Yeah.
There's just too many like spaces in between. Even though what I'm getting is interesting, it's just not. And like, what happened to Lucas?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in the 8th game or not.
You'll have to play it and see.
I'll have to play it,
But
because it's like they just kind of forgot about him, and he was like this really interesting sort of Saw like bad guy, where he was like putting you through all these games that were very deadly, and you solve the puzzles and stuff, and you get pissed off that you get through it. Cool, really cool idea. Very clearly inspired by Saw.
yeah.
But then he just disappears. He's gone. They don't even like talk about him again. It's just weird. It was a weird game. It was one of the scariest games I've ever played. Holy shit, that's a scary ass game. And
Yeah,
it's like
it is.
pretty scary all the way through. Like, there really wasn't a whole lot of time where it's like Dead Space is always creepy environmentally, but like you're just getting more powerful, and you feel like you're in control and that you can take on what's coming at you, and it slowly turns into an action game. Whereas this game, I was just like, get me the fuck out of here, man. Like,
Yeah.
you can defend yourself at least. It's not like Outlast where you just have to run and run and run. But it was very, very frightening, very good, like well designed, very creepy, but not really sure what that had to do with anything. So I'm curious to see 8 now.
Yeah, 8 I think picks up the baton and starts to connect it a lot more to like the series as a whole. Once they figured out like they had made enough money and enough people liked it, I think that they were like, okay, maybe we could start like tying this into the other stuff too. So
Okay, cool. Well, I'm curious to talk about 8 and 9 with you, because my goal is to get both of them done this year.
nice.
The only other game I'm playing that we haven't talked about, I started up Space Marine 2.
Nice.
I just wanted to have like something kind of fun and easy I could jump into if I only had an hour. Like Marathon is easy to jump into, but it can be kind of intense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have Marathon and then also have something like Power Fantasy, where I'm just single-handedly annihilating everything around me. Absolutely insane. The technology that they must have developed to get this many enemies on the screen at once is nuts. I just love the executions. It kind of reminds me of like what Gears of War should probably become. It's very Gears heavy, like third person, big, lunky, armored guy with a chainsaw sword, like just talking shit. Like it's a little different because these guys are like monks. They're like warrior monks. The Space Marines are all about their religion and stuff. Very fun. It's cool to play this game having played the first one, even though it's not too bad if you didn't. But knowing why, like knowing his backstory already, has made this game pretty interesting with the story. I can't wait to find out more about how he got to where he was. I'm probably a couple hours in or something, so nothing crazy, but really, really enjoying it. It's a phenomenal game. Another game that would be a lot of fun to play co-op. Oh my gosh. What a blast. It's just beautiful too. It's a beautiful game. It's so much fun. Yeah, I'm just I think I'll just blast through it. It's really easy to play and just run through, and without being too easy. I mean, there's still some challenge to it, but it's mostly a power fantasy.
Right.
Sure. I'm just the ways in which I'm executing enemies is insane. So yeah, that's all I'm playing right now. And of course, watching Arcane and Marathon.
Also a good little lineup.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun to play. Just play as much as I have lately. It's just ebbs and flows, with life and with work and everything going on. There's going to be some time where Kyle, where you're playing 1,000 things and I can barely get any time to do anything. It's just kind of the way it goes. So we were trying to come up with our topic, and we're starting to develop sort of these like these like subsectional series within the title Solo Gamer Podcast, that allow us to kind of go back to the well but have a whole new conversation. For example, we've done the State of the Union on Bethesda Game Studios and CD Projekt Red, and then we did the kind of the retrospective on the Xbox 360 a while back, and we kind of wanted to keep going back because there's so much to go and talk about with those two topics, those two setups. So we wanted to talk about the PlayStation 4 because with everything going on with Sony right now, I feel like everyone who is a fan of any of or all of these consoles is sort of looking back at a golden age of some type. And that feels like maybe the PS4 was kind of the last great gaming era. I don't know if is that too much? Is that
no,
like,
I think that would
hyperbole.
I think that would be a fairly accurate statement. I would not balk at that suggestion.
Do you guys remember when the PlayStation 4 came out? I hope you're ready to feel fucking old. Unless you know exactly when. Just if you don't,
I actually Googled it earlier. So
you did? Okay.
I don't remember when exactly. I just remember I remember some of the marketing campaigns around it more than I actually remember the release of it. And I also did not have the PS4 until several years into the console cycle. So
yeah, I got mine later as well because I picked up an Xbox first.
Me too.
I think I got mine kind of late, yeah.
Because I didn't. It was like I bought my Xbox despite the horrible intro.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, well, that's the game that that's
because you're an Xbox slut.
Yeah. I wanted to, I just didn't know yet. But it's funny because had I known then, maybe I wouldn't be an Xbox slut.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Like, had I if I could have seen the future of both, I
10 years into the future.
Damn. All right, I'm going to get a PS4 right now before it's too late. Now it's too late, but before it wasn't.
It was like the 360 generation was such a strong W for that brand that it was like kind of one of those things where it's like, even despite the marketing, like I bought my Xbox One first and I got it like secondhand, so it was kind of a double whammy. It was like it was already cheaper to begin with. Like I just loved my 360 so much that I was like, well, it can't be that different, right, from the experience on the other side. So
it starts running games at 900p.
Right.
Fuck?
What the hell's going on here?
Xbox has never, as like a brand, has never gotten over that. Like they've been obsessed with making sure like we're the most powerful console. Because I remember when PS4 came out and it was running everything at 1080p and everything on the Xbox was running 900p. And that was just it. That was over. I don't know. It mattered a lot to people. There was a lot of other stuff, obviously. So the PS4 released on November 29th, 2013.
Yeah. I had just graduated high school, not several months before that.
Funny. I always
actually November 15th for Americans.
Oh, okay, yeah, November 15th. So we got it first. So you're right. Yeah,
we got it 2 weeks early. That's kind of
November 15th, 2013.
I think that was one of the first consoles to do that, where the US might have gotten it first.
Especially for it being PlayStation, that's unique.
Yeah, absolutely. It is interesting. I mean, the US is their number one market, so
yeah,
I suppose it makes sense. But
Japan didn't get it till February 22nd of 2014.
Isn't that crazy?
Now that seems like a long wait. Like I would have thought maybe a month or two, but yeah.
Dude, if I'm in Japan, I'm like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, most people in Japan are Nintendo fans. I mean, the vast majority. Sony kind of fell down and didn't pursue Japan with the furor that you might expect them. But boy, they really made it in the U.S. I mean, the U.S. and Europe, they're huge there. I remember my earliest memory of the PS4 really had to do with it was before it came out, was their E3 conference, which came right after the Xbox conference, and there was all of that angst about the DRM that the Xbox was going to have, where it's like, even with a physical disc, as soon as it's downloaded to your Xbox, it's like chained to your console and you can't share it. You can't even give someone that was their whole thing. And then like, I can't remember who it was. It was like, I think it was like the head of the PlayStation studios at the time. And like, I can't remember, like one of the tech guys or whatever of Sony, and they were on the stage and they were like, so how do you share a game on PS4? And the guy has a copy of Killzone Shadowfall, and he's like this, and he just hands him the case on the stage. Like,
it was one of them was Shuhei Yoshida.
It was Shuhei. Okay, it was Shuhei. Yeah, the like best studio director, not studio director, but like director of all
first party
studios, first party. Yeah, that guy. I mean, that man has a rap list of exclusive games.
Hall of Famer in terms of games industry.
Amazing guy. Yeah, and that's like, you can just look that picture up at some point. It's like,
I remember like it was yesterday, man.
Handing it over. I remember that too.
I've seen it so many times since then.
Yeah, that was the end. That felt like that was the end.
So brutal.
Knife in the heart.
So brutal. Yeah, that was the end, man. And I really feel like that whole thing, obviously we get a little myopic because all of that stuff is like, the hardcore gamers watch E3. There's so many people who didn't play any of that, but some of that definitely made it through, because a lot of people who had 360s went on to buy PS4s instead. Like, this was sort of this was the beginning of the end in a way. And it became, I think it's funny. I think because of the age I was when this came out and how long, it was a very long generation, and the way that generations have moved since the PS4 and the Xbox One, where it's like all of your games flow over and your account and everything, you don't feel like it's starting over the whole new generation like we used to.
Mm-hmm.
Where the PS4, it just feels like it's just sort of like in the DNA of my PS5. Like, it feels like buying a PS5 felt more like buying the next iPhone. Or Google.
It felt like an iteration rather than a completely new.
But that said, I think that says a lot about the PS4. Like, it set up kind of the entire way that we experience games now.
Yeah, basically.
So it's got to be. I mean, I would call it's probably one of the best consoles ever, right?
Oh, no doubt. I mean,
it's got to be.
It's top 5 for sure.
And it sold a ton, didn't it? I mean, let's see here. PlayStation 4.
Probably their second best-selling console, I want to say, behind PS2.
So this is just per AI here. As of the last official update from Sony, PlayStation 4 had sold 117.2 million PS4s.
Crazy. It's an insane number.
That's kind of unreal, man. Like, I don't even know. I'd love to see like a list. That's got to put it right there with I think the Wii sell more than that.
Yeah,
the Wii sold like 200, didn't it?
Yeah, I want to say. And then
that's crazy.
I think PS2 sold like, I don't know, 180 maybe.
Let's take a look here. I'm getting a list. We're getting a list.
Get the list. Pull it out.
Get a list. 160 million. Okay, so we were off. We did not sell 200. So PS2 sold 160 million. Nintendo Switch 155.
Yeah, right
155 million. Nintendo DS 154.
Yeah.
Game Boy and Game Boy Color 118. And number 5, PlayStation 4 at 117.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Respectable.
insane. That is
Yeah.
pretty insane. And I just feel like it's weird to talk about this console in the way that we are today. I think, like what I was saying earlier, it's just it doesn't feel like it's this old classic console, but we're getting there. It came out 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's just start with the basics. Kyle, what was your, like, some of your earliest memories of the PlayStation 4, whether it was yours or whether it was, buddies that you were playing on, or like, when did you like get into PlayStation gaming? Because you and I had Xboxes pretty much through our whole life until I bought that PS3 in my junior year of high school or something like that. But outside of the PS3, we were all Xbox all the time, I think. So when did the PS4 kind of become a thing for you, and what was some of your earliest memories with it?
So actually, before I actually had, I believe, the PS2, maybe PS3.
Okay.
I was really young. So I was already introduced to PlayStation at a pretty young age, but I think I got the PS4 pretty late. I think I'm thinking like maybe 2016-ish.
That's when I think I had mine.
Yeah.
I was probably just incessantly bugging you to get it or something, or somebody was.
Something. I'm not quite sure, but I remember vividly the first game I really got into, surprisingly, was Battlefront 2.
Oh yeah.
I was really into that. Played that pretty much exclusively for many, many days. I actually enjoyed it, of course, until it had its issues. And then I don't think I don't remember playing it a whole lot other outside of that. I think I played quite a bit of Rocket League at the time.
That was like the first big free game that they put out for PSN.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So played a lot of that. I feel like I didn't do a whole lot with my PS4. Because when did Last of Us 1?
Well, Last of Us 1 originally came out for PS3, but it's most played on PS4. It was like a launch title. The remastered PS4 version of Last of Us probably sold more copies than the original Last of Us did on PS3. Because it was such a hit for PS3 players, and then when PS4 came out and was selling like crazy and all these Xbox players were coming over, they re-released a updated like version for it. And a lot of people's first experience with Last of Us is the PS4 version.
Gotcha. Okay. I think no, because I think I played it on PS3. I must have, because I think I played it pretty early on. But anyways, yeah, that's what I played a whole lot of. Was honestly, I remember playing a lot of Battlefront. It was a lot. That was the game I was most excited for that had come out. And I honestly didn't really get into the PlayStation exclusives, I think, until I really got into the PS5. I think it took me a long time to like actually really delve into the PlayStation exclusives, surprisingly.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like, I mean, the PS4 had probably the biggest library. That's really when they hit their stride, it feels like.
Yeah. I was looking up some of the launch titles too.
Yeah, launch titles would be good. What are you seeing for some of the launch titles?
So honestly, not like a super good launch lineup, but there were a couple things that stood out to me here. Battlefield 4 was a launch title. They had Killzone Shadowfell, which I still haven't played. I've never played a Killzone game, but I remember that game coming out for a launch title. Knack. Of course, everybody remembers Knack.
Oh my god, that was
not from actually playing it, but just from
it came out. It came out. It was getting like 4s and 5s.
Yeah. Resogun, Housemarque's first game, was a launch title for it as well. So not super great. And then you got like a lot of Lego and sports stuff thrown in there.
I saw Infamous Second Son.
Oh yeah, love
one of the early titles. Maybe not launch, but early.
That's
Injustice.
Oh, Injustice. That's right. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a really good game. Yeah, that was Infamous Second Son was one of the first games I played on PS4. I remember that. I remember beating it because they had a cover of a Nirvana song over the credits. And I remember beating it. I was like, it was in the condo. It was on the condo I lived on Bell Road. That's when I played that game. I just have a weird like visual memory of that. I wanted to see kind of like what were the all of the like because this I feel like this is when Sony really, I mean, they always had great, PlayStation always had great exclusives, but this got to the point where I just remember just being like, you'd be if you're like into games, you'd be kind of crazy to not have a PS4.
Yeah, there's the infamous games. I know Bloodborne was an exclusive.
Yep. Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
The remake of that was great. The Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy were both absolutely incredible. The Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima.
Last of Us Part 2.
And Ghost of Tsushima is right on the cusp there because it's PS5 was releasing around the same time. So
yeah, several months later.
Yeah, I mean, I played it on the PS4.
Me too.
It was out before the PS5 came out, so because it came out in 2020, and I didn't know anyone who got a PS5 until like 2021. It felt like nobody could get one.
Yeah, I didn't get one until like maybe end of 2021 into 2022.
Yeah, I paid a scalper, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Taylor, what are some of your earliest memories with the PS4?
Yeah, kind of like you talked a little bit about earlier. I remember a lot of the marketing campaigns from right around this time more than like the actual console launch. And kind of like you were saying, Kyle, I didn't actually get my PS4, I want to say, until like 2015, 2016. But I remember I bought it off of a like Facebook Marketplace or like OfferUp or something like that from some guy. And he threw in NBA 2K14 on it, and I remember that was one with like Kevin Durant on the cover from the Thunder at the time. So that was the one game I had for it for quite some time, and then basically after that point, it just kind of became an exclusives machine. So just playing through all those PS4 exclusives, and I feel like that's kind of where PlayStation kind of hit their stride, with those really well made, just over the shoulder third person action adventure games. I just felt like there was kind of a glut of those kind of games, but they just did them the best, man. And even to this day, I mean, they're still at the top of their game. So
yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. The PS4 was such a powerful, perfectly executed generation that even now, when they're like floundering and drowning and making all the wrong choices, it hasn't mattered at all.
Yeah.
PS5 is like outselling the PS4 as far as based on how long it's been out. I mean, I feel like it just cemented them finally as the iPhone, the Apple product. And I'm not an iPhone guy. I don't even have an iPhone, but they feel like that. PlayStation feels like that to me. Like the
brand was like Apple, solidified.
It's so internal and like exclusive and all about what it can do because of its own ecosystem, right? Because of its walled garden, they were able to ensure the quality of all of these games. And the fact that someone who basically was a primary Xbox player would still always buy their console every time, maybe a year or two later, but I would always get it because it was like, I have to play these games. They're so good and they're so fun. Like, that's crazy. I mean, it's a lot of money, and I kept doing it. I kept buying them, and I will keep doing so. It's probably going to be the same kind of thing where I'm always going to get a PlayStation within the first couple of years of it coming out, because eventually, now maybe PS6, maybe not. I mean, it feels like maybe they're starting to slow down a bit. Development is way slower, and things are not being run very well right now for PlayStation. But it really felt like it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what they do because of the PS4. Just all of those games, it brought so many people on. And as the point that Phil Spencer made in that interview many years ago, the worst time to lose a console battle was that generation.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of when the majority of people switched from purchasing physical discs to buying digital. And the idea that these digital games would belong to you throughout the existence of the next consoles. You'd be able to play your library on every console going forward. And like those two things kind of combining, it's like if the PS4 outsold the Xbox One that by that much, they're going to have that lead forever because all of those people who spent all that money are going to keep buying the PlayStation now because they have this digital library that they can only access through playing the next console. So that's that. And it's like, that was it. It was a wrap. And they kind of have a chokehold on the whole industry now.
Yeah, I still have a larger library for PlayStation than I do Xbox. So
really,
that's definitely, yeah, and I think that kind of like plays into it.
Now I
kind
do.
of, yeah, I kind of felt like I had to switch over. But actually, it's funny. So I was thinking about my time of playing Battlefront back in the day, and I had a cat at the time, a black cat named Malcolm, and he used to really pay attention to what I was doing on the TV screen. And I realized that one because we had just moved into this new place, so I still had the TV like on the ground for the time being. And the kind of like the menu that would pop up, there would be like a little video that would play if you were like not active for a while. And he just absolutely loved this thing and would like attack this like little kind of robot that would fly across the screen. And I feel like I had to share this with you guys because it's like one of my favorite videos I've ever taken. This thing's about to come up, but he's just waiting for it. Look at.
Oh yes. Oh, I remember this. The EA
Battlefront
had a cool intro.
Once he finds it, he like jumps on it. Now he's looking.
Like whoa. What
was that?
Yeah. He's like, it was just so hilarious to watch. I got like it's like a 2.5 minute long video of him jumping on this little mouse looking toy.
Oh my god, that's so good, dude. I love that. That's funny that you have that kind of memory tied up with that.
Oh yeah.
I remember trying to come up with ways to decide like how I would buy what games for which console because I was like I'm not gonna be a console war guy. Like I'm buying both. I'm gonna play both. That's that. And I kept like coming up with rules with like, okay, how am I gonna buy for what? You know, I think I did buy Battlefront, the EA Battlefront on PlayStation at first. And I was like, I'll do the Star Wars on PlayStation. Or who knows what I was thinking at the time. You know, just funny to think about how that all kind of came together. I
remember having that conversation with you because I kind of felt the same way, honestly. But my methodology changed probably like halfway through the generation, I feel like.
For the longest time, I was a single console kind of guy.
Oh, same.
And I think some of that was just economically what was going on for me. I was still really young at the time, so I couldn't justify it. But you were the one, Ian, that actually started convincing me to have both, and now I feel like I can't go back. But
we'll see.
It's a new age now. I mean, if they're both $1,200, it's like, all right, I got to choose one, if that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm probably still gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll find a way to get both at some point. It'll take a while, you know.
Yeah, I'll rob somebody.
There you go,
dude. I just thought of a fun memory actually with PlayStation 4. And probably one of my earliest memories too is I remember Ian playing The Last of Us Part 1 at your condo on Bell that you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching you play through Left Behind, or what was that DLC called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Left Behind.
Yeah, I was watching you play through that because my only exposure to The Last of Us, I remember, had been I watched a friend play it on PS3, like kind of right around when it launched, like several years ago, and I thought it looked really cool, but then I never like went back to it. And I remember watching you play Left Behind, and I was like, wow, this looks really good. And when I bought my PS4, I think you let me borrow Last of Us, the remaster, for PS4. So that was a fun memory I just remembered too. Because I remember specifically there's that scene where you're in the mall and it's like snowing and
Yeah.
you gotta like beat up all the guys in the like in the mall and stuff like that, and you're like smashing their heads into the like freezers and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Yeah, killing him with the you get the like throat shot with the bow and arrow, and the guy's like,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my god,
What have I done?
Yeah, I always loved the part. I loved like one of my favorite parts of that Left Behind DLC was like the part where she tells Ellie to close her eyes at the arcade machine, and she's describing to her like what's happening in the fighting game, and she's hitting the buttons. And the game sort of represents Ellie's imagination with the glow of she's like imagining the glow of the screen and the sound effects of this like Mortal Kombat style fighting game. And you hear whoosh, in their head.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was such a cool moment. Cool scene.
It was.
I loved that DLC. Yeah, while we were talking, I was going back because it's funny, like I don't remember when I got the PS4, and I went back and I had it early on. I had it in because my earliest trophies, because I was just looking at all my trophies. My early trophies was like August of 2014, so I got it within a year of it coming out. I know that I got the Xbox One like at launch. I bought that thing at launch. Because I remember I bought it with the Titanfall bundle. It's like the Titanfall was like an Xbox exclusive multiplayer game when Xbox One launched. And I remember thinking that was pretty cool. And I bought that, and then it must have been, maybe it was like a birthday gift. It was probably a birthday gift because it looks like I was playing right around like my birthday. Of 2014. The first game I played on it was Killzone Shadowfall, and then I played Infamous Second Son right after that. So I was jumping into the exclusives immediately after that.
Did you like Killzone?
Yeah, Killzone. So my first experience with Killzone was shortly before before Shadowfall came out. I remember seeing the videos for it and be like, this looks insane. This looks so cool. I got to play these games. And they had the first 3 games on PS3, like in a bundle. It was like the Killzone trilogy remastered or whatever. So I played Killzone 1, which was very old. It felt like a PS2 game. It was a PS2 game. It was decent, but it was crazy to think that Halo came out around the same time as Killzone, because Halo was so far ahead. And then Killzone 2 came out for PS3, so I played that one. That was like the next one. I liked it. And Killzone 3 I thought was really good. Killzone 3 was a lot of fun. That was my favorite Killzone. And then I played Shadowfall, and it was okay. And then
it's always a series I wanted to go to check out.
What's insane to think about, like the turnaround time for games. That came out, Shadowfall dropped in 2014, and then Guerrilla went quiet, and 40 years later, they dropped Horizon Zero Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you guys make this game so fast? How did they do this? They'd never even made a third-person open-world game in their fucking life. And they come out with Horizon in, 3.5 or 4 years or something like that. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts that they were able to do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm sure they were working on both at the same time, but still, for them to be able to get that out, because I remember being like, man, this is so far. This is such a huge departure from Killzone for them, and they just nailed it with Horizon.
Oh yeah, I just looked up my PSN profile to see what my first trophy was.
Yeah,
it was a trophy called Remember Me. Change your defensive settings in the coach's clipboard for NBA 2K15.
Oh, nice.
And I received it on October 31st, 2015, so Halloween.
That's funny.
And then after that, it was like Tales of Zestiria I had on there, Metal Gear Solid 5 and Street Fighter 5 were like all some of the first games I played on it.
I love that we can look back on this. And again, this is
I
like
love that
more,
stuff.
this is more to the like kind of the beginning. Like, yes, they had trophies for PS3, but this whole sort of online record of your entire gaming history felt like it started with this generation, and PS4 was like
For
kind of the
sure.
lead in that. And here we are sitting here, April 8th, 2026. My first PlayStation trophy ever on the PS3 was Madden Master Strategist, August 12th, 2010, for
Damn.
Madden NFL 11.
Yeah.
And it just goes from there. And then the first game I played on PS4 was Killzone Shadowfall, and that was looks like it was in August. So just crazy to think about how long ago that was, and yet I think it landed at a time period where I was a full adult, and so it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't have the 360 still has that clouded nostalgia around it, because that was like high school, and I was still living with my parents, and I still lived at home, and there was like a dinner time, like with 360 is like still, it's the very end of childhood / teenager, and
Yeah.
PS4, Xbox One, like those, I bought those. Like I bought the Xbox, and I think PS4 was a gift, but like those were adult. I was purchasing games myself from the money I was making at a job.
Right.
And that's very distinct to me. And I think that's why I don't look at the PS4. Like sometimes I forget. That's why it's important to do these retrospectives, because I'm like, yeah, it was, this is PS4. But like this console's insane.
Yeah.
You're just listing off just the
Insanely
games.
formative,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it really ended up defining what PlayStation is, and like the reputation of the exclusives, and like the cinematic big budget game, and the single player gaming, and like they're just sort of created their identity. And of course the DualShock 4 was a huge change, because it was like the shitty little controller that they released with the PS3 was the same as the PS2, because they had to trash their weird boomerang. Do you guys remember the boomerang PS3 controllers that were about to come out? Like, and then everyone was like, "What the hell is that?" And then they were like, "I don't know what to do." So they just put the same controller in with the PS3.
Yeah.
So I remember the DualShock 4, like actually picking that up, like, oh, Sony can make a comfortable controller.
Dude, the DualShock 4 is absolutely one of my favorite controllers. Also,
it's really nice.
so.
It is very nice. I actually do think I like the DualSense more.
Yeah.
The name is dumb. Just call it the DualShock 5, my guy.
I do like the DualSense also quite a bit, but I also feel like, I don't know why, there was a distinct feeling that both Xbox controllers and PlayStation controllers kind of gave me, and they were different, and I liked them for different reasons, but the DualSense feels like an Xbox controller to me more than a PlayStation controller.
That's probably
and I feel like it's lost that identity,
I mean, at least they still have the parallel analog sticks. That's kind of the big one. And I think the things for me has been that the DualShock 4 and the DualSense both have the analog sticks at the bottom, and they have the weird, like the right trigger and left trigger, R2, R1. The way that they like come out over the back of the controller, and they're like these like little fins.
Yeah.
I don't like that, because like I go to set it down and it presses it, and if like I'm on a game or whatever, and I set it down to like pull the trigger down and stuff. I've always preferred the offset analog sticks and the like built-in triggers of the Xbox that have like the backing on them, so you can set it down, and the triggers feel like a trigger, an actual trigger, not like a weird like hangover button. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's like small. These are just small things, obviously. I don't like the D-pad for either of the PlayStation controllers either. They just feel flimsy, and they don't feel very clicky. The standard one for Xbox is not great either. But if you have any of the Elite controllers for Xbox with the little aluminum like octagon, those are like really smooth. You can feel each like individual position along the dial. Really nice, especially for like fighting games and stuff. But yeah, just random little things about PlayStation controllers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, they are. They're fantastic, and they keep getting better. I feel like we did get one right in. I want to make sure we get a right in. Lord of the Cream wrote in about his PlayStation 4 experience, which is sort of starts out with not really being much of an experience with it. He said, I didn't own a PS4, but I have since played some of those games on my PS5. Feels cliche to say at this point, although maybe not with how much hate it gets from some people, but I'll focus on characters and say Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2. I still feel like the writing and portrayal of these characters stands so much further above and beyond anything else I've experienced in a video game. They've entered into my short list of favorite characters of all time across all mediums. The way the game shows the emotions of their faces and allows the actors' performances to come through still kind of blows me away. Some recent games have gotten close, but nothing else has matched that level yet for me. It also has such a cinematic quality, those cutscenes, even down to how they are framed and edited, which again to me is a league in its own for video games. Yeah, and I feel like to tie it back to kind of PS4 and what we were saying earlier with how it feels like this console sort of established Sony and PlayStation as this is their reputation, was The Last of Us. And I feel like The Last of Us Remastered kind of did that. It was like I think that ran at 60 frames a second.
Yeah, I think so.
Which was like a big deal back then. A huge deal. It's even now we can't get games running at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, it's very like hot and cold, you know.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just feel like it's such a great combination of the talented writing and performances, and also the technology to be able to make it convincing and
story writing.
Yeah, dialogue.
Yeah, I would say the only thing I would nitpick there is I feel like Joel and Ellie's dichotomy is mostly done in part 1. Obviously, you know, Joel is still pretty involved in part 2, but I think most of that, I would say my favorite parts about Joel and Ellie are in part 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think that part 1 is great to see the beginning and the beginning of the relationship and how he wants nothing to do with her. And you're playing that game with the perspective of Joel knowing that he lost his daughter. And so it kind of gives you a different perspective on things. I think with the second game, even though I really liked the way that they told the story in the sense of they did one section and then stopped and went back and did another, the way that they unveiled, I loved the way that they unveiled the going back scenes, filling in what had happened between Ellie and Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Those scenes, like those are like some of my favorite parts of the second game. It was just like going back and seeing when he finally revealed that he lied to her, and the scene where they talk and kind of sort of make up right at the very end, but they never got to before he died, and just the tragedy of all that. Like, I don't know, they're equal to me, but I know what you mean. Like, there's something about the first, like something about when they first seeing them from the beginning and like how that becomes and evolves into kind of a father-daughter relationship is definitely very special.
All of it's great. I'm really nitpicking there. Like,
yeah, it's definitely, I think like Last of Us does get a lot of flack now, but those games I feel like are kind of they're sort of the like representation of PlayStation.
Oh, for sure. That's the mascot, you know.
It's like, to me, it's a representation of how great games can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Proof that these aren't just toys anymore, kind of a thing.
Man, yeah. I can't wait for our State of the Union Naughty Dog episode.
Naughty Dog,
that's going to be a fun time.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I think we should do that after we've seen like some legit gameplay of Heretic.
Yeah. That would be cool.
That'll be a really fun way to kind of wrap it all up and talk about that and be excited.
I wonder if we'll see that this year. Like maybe
I hope so.
There's a state of play. I just looked at the Summer
Supposed to
Games
come out next
Fest
year, right?
lineup, and they do have a state of play uh, supposed to be happening in June, right around when Summer Games Fest is going on. So fingers crossed, dude. That'd be cool to see that there.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Very, very, very curious what they're going to do with that. But yeah, so I don't know what else do you guys have? Any other kind of thoughts or memories or ideas or anything like that that you had from this time, the PS4?
No, I think absolutely one of my favorite consoles of all time. I think like it's in the top 5. One of these days we'll have to do like maybe like a favorite consoles list or something, but I think it would be cemented up there for sure.
Yeah, it's a great console. I think the only thing is I don't have a whole lot of memory of playing all of the exclusives, and I think a lot of it was because this was like during a time in my life where I honestly just wasn't playing games. I mean, there's like I can remember like a good 2.5 to 3 year period where I just wasn't even touching a controller, which is crazy to think about. Um, so it was like I think I missed out on all that, and then by the time I got back into gaming again, PlayStation 5 was on the horizon. And that's where I actually started playing all the, PS4 bangers like The Last of Us Part 2 and God of War and Ghost of Tsushima. That's when I actually played it, was when I had the PS5.
You still
Uh,
got Horizon and Spider-Man and a few others too.
yeah,
Oh, dude.
yeah.
That's kind of the benefit though. I'm really jealous of you. You get to experience all that for the first time too.
Yeah.
I know. That is pretty cool. I honestly don't think you're missing anything. Obviously, the games are great, and you'll be glad to play those when you do. And I think you'll enjoy all those games. But I don't think you're missing. Like if you missed the 360 or the original Xbox or whatever, like those are like more the formative years. I think that like had you missed some of that, you probably would never have played anything else either.
Yeah.
Whereas like missing the PS4, kind of the point we were making earlier, where it's like it feels like it's the first modern consoles, like the PS4 and the Xbox One, and that kind of the Switch. It's like you can just play them now, and the experience you're going to have playing Horizon Zero Dawn now, I feel like is not that much different than had you played it in 2017.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, our lives aren't that much different. We were working, we were dating, we were hanging out with friends and going home. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. You didn't have those things. We didn't have those things going on. We weren't in college. These weird distinctive things that create nostalgia. Like it's just not really. So I think that was if you're gonna miss one, that one's fine to miss because the way it all works is you just buy a PS5 and you just buy all those games for it and just play them now.
And
I mean,
all
shit.
cheap.
Horizon Zero Dawn is remastered now. You could play a remastered version of it.
Yeah, especially all the really, big hits from PS4. They've all been remastered at this point.
Yeah, absolutely they have. So yeah, I feel like you're actually in a pretty good spot because you've played most of the big ones. You've only got a few left, and you'll love them. Sorry, I was
No doubt about it. I feel like I have more time now to tie back into the ROG Ally. I feel like it's like so much easier now for me to just fit in a quick half hour to an hour somewhere and like not have to. I don't know what it is. I said it before, but I don't know what it is about having to sit down, turn on my TV, boot up, the console, and get ready to do all that. For some reason, it just feels like way more of a task than just being like, oh, there's my ROG Ally. Let me just boot it up and I'm in a game,
Mhm.
That's funny. I don't have that so much because I mean, just turn on TV. It's like two buttons. You just turn the TV on, turn the controller, turns it on, and bam, you're into it. I like having the giants, like a big screen and like the sound. Like I find myself when I'm on the Ally, especially with like a AAA game, and it's just everything's kind of small and it's like medium settings and kind of looks muddy. Like I feel like it's like the side. You and I have always talked about like I don't want to play that new Castlevania game on a big screen. You know, like those are the ones for me that I kind of want to play it on. But yeah,
For
I
me,
do
it's
get
just
that.
being able to like. There's that part of it, and then there's also like I don't have to be stuck to the couch. Like if I'm like done playing over here, I'm
For
just gonna
sure.
go lay down in bed, and I don't have to do anything to make that transition.
Yeah,
You know?
that's awesome. Yeah, and it's not that much worse at that point, right? Because you're transferring the comfort. You're able to like be in bed and still have something there with you, and you can, like you said, you can knock out that hour or something. It's like that you're kind of like accessing those hidden minutes that otherwise you wouldn't be playing. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I'm min-maxing life right now, guys.
You're min-maxing. Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to think back about that console. Did any of you did you guys have a PS4 Pro?
I did actually. I randomly got one. I also bought it secondhand at one point, and I don't really remember exactly why I bought it either. But yeah, I ended up getting a PS4 Pro. I think in like 2018 maybe or something like that. So yeah, and that's actually the only time I've ever had a mid-generation refresh console. There she is.
That's the Pro.
Nice.
I love the way the
forgot I
Pro
had it right
looks
here.
too.
The PS4 looked awesome. I love the
Yeah.
like the weird sort of like
Cyberpunk
pyramid
building
step.
design.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
exactly, dude. God, the PS5 is so ugly.
Speaking of, we were talking about controllers earlier. That 007 PlayStation controller looks sick.
Oh, dude, yeah, looks dope. I love it.
It looks very cool. I love that. I love the. I'm a big controller geek. I like it when companies have a fun time with controller designs.
Yeah.
I still need to buy. There's that PlayStation 30th anniversary controller that's like gray and has the colored buttons. I want it so bad.
I bought it on eBay not too long ago at a pretty decent price, like a year ago.
Yeah, I saw that there's some websites where you can buy them like imported from Japan for a pretty good price. So I need one so badly. I love that controller.
Yeah, they are. It is really cool. I love that they did that. I wish I could have gotten a gotten a PS5 in that color, the gray. That gray 30th anniversary gray was so cool.
Sexy.
It is. I really hope they tone it down with the PS6.
Yeah, I agree.
I
actually, on my PS5, I put those different plates on them. I put the all black plates on them and then threw away the white ones. So it looks a lot better when it's all black again.
Yeah, all black helps. I hope they don't go after some weird like utopia science fiction building for their
Yeah.
It reminds me of, it's like some building out of the 1950s, like Jetsons cartoon
Right.
or something. It's like, can you just don't do that? Like it says, I have the two right next to each other behind my TV, and I honestly like I don't know. It's not going to go down as one of the great consoles ever or anything because of everything that's happened, and it's just been a weird generation. But I love the Series X. I love that it reminds me of the monolith from 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah, it's a good comparison.
The obelisk, whatever they're like praising the big slate of black stone that's there. I just prefer simple. I think it's not even really
Me
that
too.
I think it's just make it simple, make it blend in with my
less is more.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. All right, guys. Well,
hell yeah.
It's funny. It feels like there wasn't as much to talk about, even though there's like a tons of games for that generation. But it's just like, I don't know. It just feels like it just happened.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like waxing poetic about PS4 is like, well, I mean, yeah, it was great.
Right.
It still feels like it's still going. I don't know. It's just, it hasn't.
I know.
Not having
maybe
that,
it's kind of that blend,
In a different
right?
font.
It's the blend of like, there really isn't much of a separation between PS4 and PS5 because, especially with how the games started coming out, they're still dropping for both, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I mean, there's some games that aren't for both. Like Ghost of Yotei is for PS5 only.
Okay.
There's a few other. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that. I know that there are some games that are PS5 only.
But PS4 and PS5 seem like kind of a blend. It feels like there's PS4 and then there's a PS4 Plus. That's what it kind of feels like.
I want to make sure I'm right about that before I just say it. Okay, yeah, no PS4 for Ghost of Tsushima. So they finally are getting exclusives now, but it took a long time. Assassin's Creed Shadows was also only on PS5, so it's just now. But it's been out for 6 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. It feels like the first. Like I remember my first phone was a Samsung Galaxy, and I think my first iPhone was like an 8 or a 9 or something like that. And I remember those pretty well, but like after that, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, right.
It's just iterative at that point. So yeah, I totally get that. But yeah, great console. So many wonderful games. Kyle. I'm excited just talking about that. I forgot that there's a bunch you still haven't played, and you're gonna love like all those games. I think.
Hell yeah, I'd love to play them.
I'll be excited to just hear your thoughts on some of those ones that you haven't gotten to yet. That'll be really cool. Cool. Anything else, gentlemen? Just at all? It doesn't have to be about PS4, but just want to go around the horn real quick and what's going on with you guys this week, and then we'll get ready to sign off. What do you got lined up, Kyle? Anything?
Birthday plans this weekend. Definitely going to try to get some marathon in. I've been waiting to get my hands on it.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
We got to play it soon.
We should also spend some, because I'm trying to figure out putting up posters and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I got to order some more frames actually, so let's do that first. But anyways, yeah, looking forward to doing that, organizing a little bit more.
Fun, man.
Other than that, though, I mean, yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. I want to, play a marathon and get through some more KCD2s. Definitely on the horizon. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Heck yeah. How about you, Taylor?
Yeah, not a whole lot going on this weekend. So hopefully, I think I'll have plenty of time for some games this weekend and maybe hop a new one here. I was actually thinking about starting it this week, but it just didn't end up happening. But one of Anna's favorite games is Detroit Become Human.
Hell yeah!
And we're thinking about playing that together. So
have you played that before?
Never have. No.
Really good.
Other than Heavy Rain, and I never even beat Heavy Rain. I've never really played any of those Quantic Dream games. So this will be like the first one I really get into.
Kyle, did we play Heavy Rain together?
I don't think so. No, I haven't played any of them either.
Okay, I don't know why I had a memory. I thought I had a maybe it was Lucas or something. I have a memory of playing through that game. That game, I actually loved Heavy Rain when it first came out, and I have good memories of it. I think it's a good game, but it's kind of been taken over by like
the memes
and like that one. Actually, it's funny because Sacred Symbols, he was just talking about it recently, but it's something I had seen before and I had forgotten about it. And he was talking about there's a scene where you're the police investigator, and you're chasing a suspect through like sort of like a Pike Place market sort of thing, where there's like alleyways and there's stores and there's like.
I don't know what you're talking about,
dude. Then the thing was like this section had no fail state of any kind. Like the whole point of that game was so that you didn't, even if you weren't hitting the buttons right, like you wouldn't fail. It would just change a little bit, like what happened or where you'd end up going.
Yeah.
And like there's a scene where the guy is like, you're chasing this guy and someone just records them playing it, like of not touching the controller. They just let it play. And so he's failing every single time, and the FBI agent is like tripping over every box and like knocking everyone over and slipping and falling, and it's like turns into an absolute like
slapstick comedy.
Slapstick. It's so funny, dude. I went and watched it. I was just like crying. It's so good. I'll find it and send it to you guys because it is so funny.
Oh my gosh,
it's so good. It's so good. I will post that. I'll send that to you guys here in a minute, but awesome. Well, yeah, I'm very excited to hear what you think about Detroit. That's a great game. I think it might be their best game. I don't think I played the one in the middle, but that last one was really good. So yeah, I'd be thrilled to hear your thoughts. That's one of the few games where I beat it and immediately started it over.
Yeah,
and did different things, because it wasn't so long that felt like it was going to be, way too much to take on. And it was really cool to see how all the different branching paths and stuff.
for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to break into it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, Cream Lord, thank you for writing in. Always appreciate it. Everybody listening, feel free to write in any topic you want, as long as it's somewhat relevant. Even if it's not, it might be funny and we might still read it. So write into the show. And we'll hope you have a wonderful, safe weekend. We'll get that next topic out to you probably early next week. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the next couple of days off. And we'll catch you next week. Later.
See you guys. Stay safe.
Later, guys.